I knew about this neighborhood and knew that it was established and quiet.
Quiet, very good neighbors.
This is a really nice neighborhood. I think that people keep up with their houses. They stay here long. They've put money into their houses, and it's a lasting investment, you know, to keep the neighborhood up.
It's just a very desirable neighborhood. She knew that from going to school here, and we just liked how quiet it was and how it's just like an oasis in the middle of, you know, Nashville, Davidson County. And as soon as the door opened, we kind of knew, well, this is where we're going to live. My name's Brandon Buckner. This is 3136 Stafford Drive.
My name is Tracy Buckner. We bought this house in March of 2010.
We moved into the house. There was just a door here that opened the door to nowhere. So we had to put this deck in so we could actually get used to our backyard. Before we put the fence in, it was just a hedge line surrounding the whole property that was overgrown, completely out of control. So we cut all that down, and I mean, you could see how far it came out. It came out, you know, probably 6 feet on each side. It was probably 10, 12 feet tall. Cut all that out, ground all the stumps out, and put the fence in. So cleaned up the backyard quite a bit. Front yard was the biggest mess out of everything. It was completely covered in English ivy. We ripped all that out and dug all the flower beds out. Couldn't see either of those windows. And actually, when we knocked those out, one of the neighbors told us he hadn't seen those windows in 8 years.
We like color, so we wanted to brighten it up a lot because we like a lot of light. So we just came in and painted every inch. This room didn't have a ceiling fan, so we had to put the ceiling fan box in. The door is the original. So it was white and really stained, so we just decided we'd replace the hardware on it and paint it black because I kind of like retro stuff, so we just left it. The floor plan was open like this. We got really lucky that the floor plan was open like this, but we plan to actually do a cutout on that wall. I could not find a light fixture that I liked at all, and we went to Home Depot and we spent over our budget to get this one because I loved it. I've never had a formal dining room even growing up as a kid, and I wanted that. And then I found this awesome table at World Market that I can add chairs to, and again, retro, my green chairs. So this is our kitchen, the walk-in eat-in kitchen. We got really lucky because it's huge. We didn't get stuck with a small one. And we upgraded all the appliances and painted the cabinets because they were really ugly pea green color with grapes on them, so we had to paint them. That was the easy thing to do, and they look a million times better than they did. Every time I opened a bucket of paint and put it on the wall, I just got more and more excited. And as soon as you finish that second coat, it was a complete transformation of the house.
It was not difficult work. It's the kind of stuff that's very quick results.
Hey, my name is Randy Griffith, and I live at 3123 Genry Drive. And we were hit by the floods. Hydrostatic pressure pushed in up under the slab or filled the blocks. And the water was coming in through these cracks here where the floor meets the Brico block. I couldn't really see putting everything back together without taking some type of steps to make sure it didn't happen again. We've got this track. It's a plastic track that will glue down against the exterior of the wall. On the back of that track, it has little holes that accept the water, and then it channels it out. So the idea is to glue this down here, and these holes accept the water and channel it out. When we decided to remodel and fix the basement back up, we decided to go with the drop ceiling, which would leave us access to get to the electrical. And we lost maybe an inch putting the drop ceiling in, but I think it was worth it. When you have to tear it all out, it's a lot more work to do that. Whereas here, you would just have to go down and buy 1 or 2 new ceiling tiles versus cutting out a couple 8-foot sections maybe and repatching it up and sanding and painting.
My name is Gary Lowe, and I live at 205 Genry Court. I've been living here for approximately 11 years, and I've done a lot of remodeling and upkeep. We just had to put on a new roof. We found that we had 3 layers of shingles, so we had to strip off all 3 layers. We put another layer of 3/8 plywood on top of the 3/8 that was there to make it more comparable to the way they build nowadays, and then the new 30-year shingles. Well, in May, we were flooded, like several other people in this neighborhood. And the way we decided to go was what's called a French drain. And it started right here at our sidewalk, and we went 2 foot deep, a trench around the whole house, and they put that pipe in there with the sock, and then gravel goes on top of that, and then a little bit of dirt. And when the water comes towards your house, and it's also got a plastic liner that goes around underneath the rest of it and up against your house. So as the water seeps towards your house, the idea is that it's going to go into this trench, into the pipe, and be diverted around instead of coming into your basement. This is what's called the sock drain. As you can see, the pipe is full of lots of holes. And then this is a debris barrier that they put over it so the water can seep in, but not the debris, and which is diverted down and out the drain. We also put in these box type drains to catch any water in like a low-lying area like we have here. Now what we also did here that's a little different besides the French drain, we took our 2 downspouts on this lower end of the house, we put them into a solid pipe that runs in the same trench as the French drain, so it's not to interfere with the French drain, but to also catch the water from the downspouts and divert it to the back also. Okay, this is what's called a pop-up. When the pipe is full, this pops up and allows the water to come out. We put in this new concrete pad and little patio here, and we've redone our driveway, concrete, which may also help on water because we had the problem of our old driveway, everything was flowing back towards the house, and now we have flow the other way, so.
One of the biggest challenges with fixing up these houses is deciding what to do in the basement. My name is Mike Rose. I live at 3124 January Drive. I think we've been working on our house ever since we've been here. After the rains of 2010, the carpet in our basement downstairs got wet just from seepage. So we swore the carpet off and decided to put in a floor that was going to be as low maintenance and cheap as possible. We looked at staining the slab. That was also very expensive, getting quotes anywhere between $5 to $7 a square foot. So that being clearly out of our budget, we decided to do a little research and committed to do the project ourselves. So with the baseboard molding off, we rented tools from Sunbelt Rentals. It's basically a concrete polisher, grinder, and it took all of the glue and gunk and junk that had accumulated on that slab over the past 50 years. It cleaned it right off. After that, we had to really clean the floor, get all the dust and debris out of there. It took several mopping sessions, kind of on hands and knees, scrubbing with sponges, just to get the floor as clean as possible. Once that was done, we were able to stain it with a pump sprayer and some chemicals that we bought from a manufacturer in Mount Juliet, neutralize it with lime. One of the final steps was applying a coat of solvent-based acrylic sealer. It allows the concrete to breathe, but it gives it that polished look and protects the finish. It's at that point that you see the color and the depth of the stain really come out. The stain kind of brings out the imperfections of the concrete slab, so we just adopted the opinion that any imperfections in the concrete slab, we're just going to kind of qualify it as character. It was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. It was very time consuming. It was a very inexpensive solution, gave the house a contemporary feel, and most important, it just made our lives easier because this is now a very low maintenance floor.
Well, my name is Keith Herndon. I live 3036 January Drive. Been here for almost 4 years. I actually put all the handrails in, and all this metal work you see I made everything here, the rocking chairs. These are all stamped flower patterns I bought. They all had holes in them, and you had to puddle weld them on, and then I just sprayed it with a satin clear coat. I built this building back when I first moved here, and I like the Renaissance style. These are working little windows. It was actually from a round barrel at Harbor Freight. Everything was handmade. It was just kind of a salvage deal. I just kind of found some scrap material and came up with the ideal. This, some people call it the bird cage. I just wanted like a little terrace, a little arbor, pergola, I guess they would call them. This was for my bed, but it fit perfectly on here. The width-wise was the exact measurement. This room, I took these walls out around the arch. If you have it more of a, I have it like a Moorish kind of style. It's light, it brings light in. It doesn't look so blah. So as you I have more of a Spanish style. I put these little window boxes in, and I just filled it up with books. This room right here, I made all these handles. These are all chili pepper handles. And then I redid all the cabinets and kind of distorted them and sanded them down and kind of got the wood coming through, got the old color that was there. These are agate slices I cut them out, and I took the garbage disposal out and I just used that for the light. And up here I put stained glass up on top too, tie it all together. This is like, I think is blue Indian stone. I had to take each one of them off, and there again I just liquid nailed them. The light fixture up here is actually all out of scrap material. I fusion weld all the little pieces of glass on there. That's a piece of conduit, this is a hubcap, and these are drops from something. I went to Lowe's and got this, I was scratch and dent. Got it for like $5, and then I got a blend to the two lines together, and I made this valve, and now you got warm water. Definitely just for decoration, I don't even come in here. It's a conversation piece. As Einstein would say, imagination is much more important than knowledge.